So as you can see, the cuboid is the widest. And man, that is super dusty. Hey, what's up everyone? Danny here. So this week's video is going to be a filler video because second half of the week got kind of hectic, and the video that was supposed to come out was supposed to be a build this week, and the parts that were supposed to go into it never showed up, and that kind of threw off my entire schedule since I only do one video a week. So I thought it'd be fun to look back into the archives and look at some footage that I recorded but was never released. And this was before the channel was ever established. It's going to be for a case called the Asrock M8. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with what that is, it's a Barebones kit that had most of the computer already. You just had to plug in some other components and it'd be good to go. It's a special small form factor case, and it had a really hefty price tag when it came out. It was originally $550 on retail, which was ridiculous, and for the performance it was giving, it was definitely not worth it. So eventually the price got slashed to $200, which at that price point I think it was a lot more justified, since it was kind of a niche case, and it did have you know, a lot more aesthetics as well as some utility going for it, with like the handles and the smaller form factor and all that. But yeah, we're just gonna take a look at that, and you can feel free to poke fun at me because this is like some really old footage that was never released, and I sound way different back then than I do now. And I will see you in next week's video, hopefully when I get back on track. Alright, so this is going to be a quick review of the Asrock M8. It's a case that Asrock worked together with BMW to come up with, and you can see the logo. They kind of try to make it BMW-esque, but one of the cool features is these magnetic panels. So they have these magnetic buttons on the case, so you don't really have to use the thumb screws, and the magnets are pretty strong. I've transported it around without locking the case, because if you lock it, the panels don't come off, but I usually leave it unlocked, and I've transported it around plenty of times and the panels never come off. And the quality of the panels are pretty good. They're really thick. They're about twice as thick as normal case panels are, so this thing is pretty heavy, but they give you these nice super rigid handles so that you can move it easily even though it is heavy. But besides that, the case doesn't have too much room to work in. Here's the inside of the case. So it has a 450 watt small form factor power supply, and the power supply is pre-routed into the case, so if you want to switch it out, it might be a little bit of a pain in the butt because the power supply wires goes down there through the back of the board, so that you can get this really nice looking, kind of looks like, I guess they're trying to go for an engine type look. You have the crossbar right here and the 6 wires coming out of this hub, which there's nothing behind here, it's just the wires running straight through. It's all just for aesthetics and looks. But in terms of the case itself, there's 2 fans on top and 2 fans on bottom. They're all 70 millimeters. There's the bottom fans. But as for the inside of the case, so this is a Barebones kit. It comes with the case, the power supply, and the motherboard, and all you really have to do is add in RAM, which is actually laptop RAM. So I have 2 sticks here, the other one's underneath this CPU cooler, and the graphics card has an angled bracket because it can't stick out perpendicular to the board like traditional setups. But it does have a lot of room. I have a 7950 in here right now, and I don't remember the length of the card, but I mean, you have room to go a little bit more. I think some versions of the GTX 970 from NVIDIA fit in here. I think the GTX, either 980 or Titan fits in here. Linus Tech Tips and Asrock, they have videos showing that, but since you're limited by 450 watts, they probably don't recommend you going any higher than probably a 970 or a 280X for AMD. But I mean, again, there's a video of an Asrock employee putting like I said, either a 980 or a Titan in, and he tries to like get the max power draw from the system, and it doesn't ever reach 450 watts. So yeah, take out of that what you will. But in terms of the case itself, it's a really nice case, but it is limited because of how much space volume you have on the inside. I am actually going to change to a different case, and you'll see it in one of my videos probably, because I wanted a larger power supply and graphics card. So I'd say that this case is really good if you're into around mid-range gaming, if you're not, you know, going for the biggest graphics cards out there, and if you're not trying to overclock your system, because this case gets a little warm. It's nothing that would be too horrible that would destroy your system, but it does get warm, so you probably wouldn't want to overclock in this. But for the most part, yeah, mid-range gaming, and really the aesthetics and convenience of like the handles and the magnetic panels, as well as everything being basically done for you except for having to plug and play the RAM, GPU, and CPU. But yep, that's about all. I just wanted to do a quick review because there aren't too many videos of this case out there, and I was very curious myself, but I just decided to, you know, pull the trigger on the case because it looked really, really cool. And yep, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I really am horrible with these ending transitions, so bye.